This is the Terrier 1-A3. It's been kind of my go-to vehicle for getting Kerbals in and about the Kerbin system, but it is due for retirement for a couple of reasons. Now, I need to get some Kerbals up into orbit because last episode we spent some time getting a ton of fuel up to my space station in and about Kerbin so I could use my nuclear runabout to go out to the moon where I have parked an asteroid where I can collect a whole ton of science. But I need to get some Kerbals up there now, and I don't want to use this Terrier 1-A3 anymore for, well, a few reasons. Number one is it only holds 2 Kerbals. This is the P re-entry pod up here at the top because when I first built it, that was the most advanced pod that I had. Number two is it is kind of overkill. I mean, this thing has a lot of delta V. It uses some of it to finish off its orbital insertion, but still has well over like 1,500 meters per second or something like that. Once it's up in orbit, it can go to the moon, it can go to Minmus. So using it just as an LKO ferry is kind of a bit of an overkill. So I want to build something else to replace it, and that's what I'm looking at today. So we're going to go new. No, I don't want to save this one. And my first thought, because I now have it unlocked, is the Mark 1-3 command pod, because it can hold 3 Kerbals. And I was all like, all right, I'm going to finally build something using this thing. And then I noticed that I do not have the 2.5 meter heat shield, which is required on the bottom of this to survive re-entry. Plus, I don't even have the big parachutes to go on top of this thing. So that was kind of not in the cards. And then I thought, oh, I guess I'll use the pomegranate because at least it can hold 3 Kerbals. But I'm honestly rather tired of these roundy ones. I want to do something different. And then I went, you know what, the heck of it. I want to build a space plane. I have unlocked a bunch of new Mark II parts, so why not use this to build me a space plane? I mean, I got this thing. I got me the let me find it. I got the 4-person crew cabin. I also have, oh, I guess it will be under coupling, this inline Clampetron with the spiffy diffy thingy like that. And I thought, you know what? Let's really build a space plane. Now, it's not going to be your standard type of space plane because I don't have the jet engines that can get me up into high altitude and going really fast just yet. I want to make that the next node that I unlock. But I can build me a plane, stick a booster on the bottom of it, and fire this thing off. I think that's something that's a little bit more exciting than simply just sticking another pod out there. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to switch over to the space plane hangar. We're going to build ourselves here a little space plane. Now, one thing I should mention before I get too far into this is next Monday's stream. So that's Monday of next week. I'm going to cancel. It is a holiday here in Canada, and we are taking off for the weekend, so I'm not going to be around my PC. So sorry about that, folks. After today, or the stream after this one will be a week from today. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Okay, let's see here. We want to power this thing, and I got an engine here I've not really used. I already see it, I think, being mentioned in the chat. Is the O-10 Puff monoprop fuel engine. This is a really nice engine, especially if you play with Kerbalism for small orbiters. The reason being is because if we do a click on it and take a look at the number of ignitions, you'll see that there is no mention of the number of ignitions because it being a monoprop engine, it has infinite ignitions. I don't want to jinx things by saying it can't fail. Maybe it can't, I don't know. But it does have an unlimited lifespan. And so that makes it really great for all kinds of rockets. And you can see just by putting these on, this thing already has 206 meters per second of delta V. I'm going to aim it around, I don't know, 3 to 350 range, something like that, to make a nice little orbiter. All it's going to do is get us up to Kerbin Station. And that's just with the monopropellant that is in the Mark II cockpit, and there is monopropellant as well in this guy here. I want to add a bit more monopropellant, so what I'm going to do, I've already scouted this out a little bit, is I'm going to grab me a couple of these here R-11 baguettes. And we're going to stick them on here. I really don't care if I block this hatch at the back, because we won't be going in and out of this one. We'll use this one as our egress and ingress. Oh, and then we have the docking port too. We'll usually leave dock to stuff. And we're going to get in here. We're going to edit the tank using the tank configurator mod. We're going to take out the oxidizer, and we're going to switch the liquid fuel to monopropellant. And we'll fill that right up. That gets us up to 431 meters per second. I think that's going to work for us very well. Of course, we still got to put some wings and junk on this thing. And then what we'll do is we'll change their color up a little bit. Well, I got some nice, but we'll also kind of tuck them in. But not make it look a little bit more streamlined, like we kind of know what we're doing. A little this way. Don't want to block the windows, but there we go. I think that's okay. And yeah, it blocks the hatch, but that's all right. And then we'll take these engines too, while we're at it, and we'll tuck them in behind here. So this is going to be a little stubby little guy. That's the idea of this. I'm going to just push this like that so that they go straight back, not back at an angle. There we go. So this is going to be a stubby little plane. This is the whole length of the thing. We're just going to put some wings on it and some landing gear, and well, I guess more or less kind of hope for the best. Hopefully it'll work well for us. Let's get some wings. Some wings. So I do have, let's arrange these by mass. I do have the small delta wing. That, here, let's just stick stuff on generally in the right area. And I also have, I think it's this one, wing connector E, yeah. So that will extend these a little bit. And we'll put on some elevons here. And the biggest struggle, oh, there we go. Now I'm getting them to go the way I want. Like so. We'll use the little structural wing type D for a rudder onto the top. Put the little elevon on the back of that. Try to figure out which way it should rotate. And I also think we'll likely need, where's the... You want the center of mass. It's a little different than building a jet. Especially a subsonic jet. You want the center of mass quite a ways ahead, but I think this is a little bit too far ahead of where the center of lift is. So I think I also am going to put on, I'll use more of these structural wing type Ds. 2 of them. And again, these little guys, a little bit of canards. That's the word I'm looking for. Up at the front. We'll clean this up a little bit. Probably that's a little close. We'll slide these back in just a little bit. But before I get any further than that, what this needs as well, actually, why don't we, let's put a probe core on this. Not that it's 100% necessary, but, and we'll configure this right away and take the science out of it. But it's nice to have at least the option to fly autonomously, and that kind of gives you that option to fly autonomously. I don't think I have the, no. Okay, I was looking to see if I have, there's other, that this will work. And as well, for KOS, I've been using this one almost exclusively for my KOS processor, which is fine. It's the one, actually, with a stock tech tree, it's this one you unlock first, the bigger one. But I've been using this one because you unlock it right at the very beginning with the Probes Before Crew tech tree. But I do have this one, the Compo Max Radial Tubeless. And what's kind here, let's just stick one of them on here somewhere. It's obviously attached radially. It has a lot more disk space on it, and it's lighter, I'm pretty sure. This one is 80 kilograms, and this guy here is only 30 kilograms. You know, proved computer technology. So why don't I just put that on there? I guess we'll find... Oh, let's put her up towards the front here. That should be okay. Yeah. Okay, and then the other thing I want to put on is, just for now, a stack decoupler, because a booster is going to have to stick on the end of this. But what's going to have to happen is this thing's going to have to fit under a fairing. So what I want to do is make sure that all of this will fit under the fairing before I start tweaking the wings about. So I'm going to get my 2.5 meter fairing, which is the biggest one I got. We're going to extend out as far as we can go this way, and then we're going to go as far as we can go this way. And it's not even going to let me. Okay, so I can see it's already not going to be big enough. So if I hold left Alt and the mouse click there, but that gives me, I got to be inside that circle for this to work. So what we're going to do is tilt up these wings. So I'm going to go like this. I want them to fit. Oh wait, here, let's take off that fairing expansion business. Oh, I got to be off of this. Fairing expansions there, so they don't expand anymore. So that gives me a better sort of look-see at this. And then we're gonna not only tilt them up, maybe a little bit more. And then we're gonna tuck them inwards so that they're inside that circle, so we know the fairing can get around them. I think what I'll do is tilt them a little more. There's already, and this is just for looks, there's already kind of an angle here, so I'm trying to match the angle of the fuselage so that the wings kind of maybe look like they're just a continuation of the fuselage. You know, kind of like a lifting body type of thing that I'm trying to accomplish. A little more. Ah, shoot. Didn't have the rotating tool selected. Oh, why? Come on. That's looking all right. Again, I noticed this stopped being there. So that looks like that will fit inside to me. So let's rotate the other wing part so they sort of look the same. Find it easier to rotate here, but then look where you don't have it. So that looks all right. And then again, slide them inwards. It's a little bit up. There. What do we think? Let's see if we can build the fairing around this without any problems. So edit the fairing. We're going to go straight out. Yep. And that, you can see now that's all going to fit inside there just great. So we can get rid of all this business. That was really just there so us get our size limitation. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Mass and lift. Again, that's probably too close. That would be fine for a subsonic jet, but there's something about, and I'm not an aeronautical engineer by any stretch, but there's something about hypersonic speeds that affects where the center of lift is, and all I know is you need to have it further back than you would with jets, and we will most certainly be testing this. Not just relying on what we see in the spaceplane hangar. Tuck these in, like so. Just move them down just a little bit so that they're kind of to this bit. We'll give this a test. We'll see how it goes. Now, one thing that's really nice is because the fuel is in 3 different containers, or 4 really. I got the 2 at the back, I got monoprop in the middle, and then monoprop in the cockpit. I have the ability to move propellant forward and back, which allows me to, in flight, adjust where this center of mass is. So if I find the center of mass is not forward enough, I can just pump fuel forward or pump fuel back, whatever the case might be. Okay, so let me see here. Thinking that all looks pretty good. What else? What else are we gonna need here? We're gonna need landing gear. Sorry, Felix, I see your question there in the chat. I'm not sure if I can answer it right at the moment. Maybe if you drop the same question into the Discord, and I'll be more than happy to answer it there. But it says something about on my script switching it to 0 if I do that on purpose, and the answer to that question is yes. Okay, so let's see here. One thing about this thing's going to land on the runway, but it'll never take off. So having the, quite often you want the rear gear close to where the center of mass is, but with this, actually, it really doesn't matter. But I do want to see if we can improve the positioning of this a little bit. A little like that. Maybe a little like that. Give it a little bit of a stance, as it were. That looks okay. Let's bring it down. Now, when it comes to land, it would be really nice if it was pitched slightly downwards when sitting on the runway. That kind of helps you stick the landing. Right now, this would be pitched up a lot. So let's translate these downwards a little bit. I don't want to come too far because at some point they're going to come out of the fuselage and then it'll look silly. And then we'll translate these upwards a lot. There. I think that will be, maybe come forward a bit. Then we can come down. I think that'll look, like I said, we'll put this to the test. I think that'll work. All right. Okay, let's lose the mass in the lift. Yeah, I like me my cute planes. That's what we're going for. We're going for cute. Okay. Let's do a little bit of some of these, tweaking some of these SERPs. So this I want out a bit more. I'm noticing it's kind of hitting where the engines are. Maybe move the engines in a bit. I don't want the control surfaces hitting the... Maybe I can move these out a little bit too. All right. Okay. RCS. This thing will definitely require RCS in order to dock with the station. Actually, I'm also looking at... Oops, shoot. I want to move this back a bit. I'm noticing that the... I don't want... See that? That looks okay. Thought I was a little too close to that docking port. Okay. All right, let's put on some RCS. And here's the other nice thing about using monopropellant is that you don't need to put on more monopropellant for the RCS. You're using just one fuel, and that kind of simplifies your build a fair bit. What I'm going to do, I'm using just the little ones. Let's put them in the middle of that panel there, and then I'll put some underneath. They're about equal. I think I might move these landing gear forward because they're in a funny... A little too close to those thrusters. There we go. We'll clearly be tweaking this a little bit. So RCS, so there's 4 thruster box at the back. Let's put a matching set of 4 at the front here. Where's the mass? Kind of want them so about the same distance out about here. Actually, I should look where that hatch is. I don't want. Oh no, we're nowhere near the hatch. That's good. About here-ish. And another 4 underneath, about there-ish. All right, and then we'll get out RCS Build Aid. Track the landing gear. Actually, no, that was a well, I'm not going to get that one now. Here, let's retract the landing gear for now. And what else do we want to do? What else do we? Oh, we want to balance all this. So RCS Build Aid to the rescue. According to this, I have, if I translate to the right, 1.62 kilonewtons of thrust. So rather than playing around with the position of these, I have me a feeling. Actually, I can probably move these back. Let's. Now that I said let's not play with the position, let's play with the position. So if I move these back, I don't want to move too far back because I don't want to get too close to where the hatch is. Kind of match up there. Okay, that brought the torque down to 0.094 kilonewtons, and then what I might just do, let's get both of these, is just to adjust the amount. Oh, I think I have them too low. Okay, that's bringing it up. 0.41. Oh, about 0.39 seems to be as low as I can get it. I want these two to be about the same. 70. Okay, let's. That's my mental math happening there. I want the thrust on both of these to be the same. Okay, this is 885. What's 85 do for me? 0.05. I'm sure 0.05 kilonewtons would be fine. Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. Okay. So to the right, we have a torque of 0.05 kilonewtons. If I switch to the left, it's about the same. Oh, up and down are really balanced. Forward, back. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, turn off RCS Build Aid. You don't need to have them super balanced. All right. What are we missing here? I'm just about ready. I think I'm about ready to give this thing a test. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna call this the Puff 2, I guess. Using my, for its 2 Puff engines, that's been my naming convention. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I meant to save. And I want to test this thing on descent. That's always the thing that I'm the most nervous about, is descending this thing down to the surface. So what we're going to do is we're going to save it again. And are there Kerbals in here? There are. So we're going to run ourselves a simulation. And we're going to start in orbit. So we're going to pick Kerbin. We'll do an orbital selection. Let's see, the station's at 120 kilometers. We'll try descending from 120 kilometers and see kind of how that works out. That's again for that. We can put on our lights. Oh, wait, I should be careful. Let's not put on the lights. I don't have any generation or electrical generation or anything like that. Let's even leave the SAS off for now. I do want it to go down in the daylight, so let's time warp just a little bit. See, let's show where let's do this for real. So hopefully we won't run out of electricity on the way. Where? There. That's what I want. So if I were descending this for real, I would probably, there's the KSC here. I'd start my descent right around here. Actually, let's get into the cockpit and turn off things. they can wear spacesuits. Turn off the pressure control, turn off the water recycler. That will save a lot of electricity. Okay, so SAS on. Let's put this on retrograde, fire up the engines. And we'll also use tack fuel balancer. We'll use trajectories. There it is. To help us on our descent. So our descent, we're going to be going around in prograde. We'll start at about 45 degrees, kind of stay around 45 degrees, maybe go down to around in the low part of the atmosphere. I don't know. Let's just put in 20 and 20. It's not essential to get all these numbers exactly right. Prograde's right, and let's turn on our trajectories and our target. Yeah, so let's fire this up. Let's see. I'm less concerned. I'm just concerned more about, will this thing be controllable? That's really the most important part of this. Not so much. Let's turn off SAS. Here, let's just get rid of the trajectories window altogether. Actually, no. Let's not do that. If we put it on target, it tells us how far. Oh, the target is the KSC. It tells you how far you are off target, which is nice. Is that the station going? Oh, it's some sort of probe. Okay, so SAS, point this prograde. Let's put this on surface because that's like that. And off that, up that, and put it at about 45 degrees. Put this on surface. Right there, this little green rectangle is the what I just put in for my descent profile. If I put it on the green rectangle, I'm right on my descent profile with an angle of attack of 45 degrees. Remember, the angle of attack is the angle from the prograde vector to your ship icon, not the angle above the horizon. Okay, we are hitting the atmosphere. Let's do this. And I still have a lot of electric charge, so that's good. Again, this is a simulation, so if things go badly, it's okay. I just realized as well, I should have removed a lot of the monopropellant. Because this thing would have done a mission. It won't be full of fuel, but oh well, a little late on that now. To make it really realistic, let's take tack fuel balancer, take the RCS fuel, and pump it all towards the cockpit. So our center of mass is as far forward as it can be. And let's do some time warping. Tuck that up there. That goes there. Okay. Okay. We'll get a feel for how this thing's behaving. If I had less fuel in it, I would have more ability to affect where my mass goes, but unfortunately, I forgot to take out a bunch of the fuel before we got started. Okay, we are now entering in, so this is the big thing. Can I kind of maintain my attitude here as we go through? I'm less concerned about hitting my target and more concerned with just, can I control this thing? That's really what this is about. And so far so good. I can see my little pitch indicator is creeping upwards. So it's having to actually pitch up a little bit to keep my attitude going, but just a little bit. So the reaction wheels that are in here are not having any trouble kind of holding the attitude. I can see it's starting to, now that the air is getting thicker, it's starting to go up more. Thing I don't want to see happen, I don't mind if this thing pitches down on me, but what I don't want to see is it flip around backwards. That's the big thing. Going backwards is a bad look. See the KSC coming up. I can see I'm overshooting. I think I'm going, oh, I always forget, is the KSC west, if I pitch this up, oh, I can't. Yeah, pitch up, pitch up. Yeah, that brings the number down. So our landing, our we are going long, according to this. The KSC is to the west of our landing spot, according to this, by 21 kilometers. But again, I'm not too super concerned about that. So far, so good, though. It wants to pitch forward, not pitch back, and that's what's good. If I let go of it, it wants to pitch forward. I'm the one that's kind of keeping it up because I want to kind of stall it a little bit. And despite coming down from 120 kilometers, heating's not seeming to be an issue. Now it's pretty obvious we're overshooting. Oh, but we are like getting close to 1,000 meters per second. This is pretty good. Okay, let's balance all of our RCSs here. I should. And trajectories is really not doing much for me right now, so we'll turn that off. And I don't know, should I try and go down to the should I try to get down onto the runway? I'm overshooting, but we're stalling a lot actually. We're going to be dropping very soon. Let's do it this way. That's me flipping it upside down. Not doing a very good job of controlling it. That's what I meant to do. There we go. There we go. We're doing the belly flop. Ah! Oh dear. There we go. I'm just trying to stall out my speed entirely and just drop because we are getting very close to the KSC. And so what I'm trying to do is just really get us to just fall. And then I can pick up speed and go. I guess I could have gone back and turned around. That's the other way to do this. This is more dramatic though. And we do have Jebediah as our pilot. So I mean Jebediah is doing this the more dramatic way. There we go. Noticing all my trajectory information still there. Let's take the target off. Okay. Think I took that off? No, I still got all that stuff. Okay, forget it. It's okay. Oh, now I gotta go for the runway, don't I? That wasn't part of the plan to go for the runway, but now it's part of the plan to go for the runway. And the key to this is making sure you don't kill off too much of your speed because you are just a glider. And if you kill too much of your speed, oh, that doesn't help. If you kill too much of your speed, you're also going to kill off your lift. And that will just have you falling. But honestly, this isn't bad. The balance is not bad at all. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. Okay. Oh, gosh. And all this wireframing nonsense does not help. Okay, we're about 200 meters per. Let's extend our landing gear. And if you're not comfortable putting space planes in the water or on the runway, there's nothing wrong in my mind. Oh wait, let's put this on here. There we go. Pitch up. Okay, this thing has good control. There's nothing wrong with, oh, we're going really slow. Come on. Ditching in the water. If this is too, I can't tell where the runway is. Oh my gosh. That, okay, I'm not going to complain. I'm stunned. I could not tell, as you could probably imagine. I was really having trouble seeing where the runway is, but we are down. Okay, obviously that is a roaring, that exceeded expectations.